Right now at 5, how a small Portland gas station says it is fighting to keep costs down as the price at the pump continues to soar.
Also, Oregon health officials warn of a new measles exposure, this time at a Portland hospital. And later.
The crew of Artemis 2 now bound for the moon. Humanity's next great voyage begins.
It sure does. Liftoff for NASA's first lunar mission in decades, with the crew of the Artemis 2 now in orbit and headed for the moon.
But first, here at 5, the man caught on video stealing thousands of dollars worth of bikes is now headed to prison for more than 5 years. Prosecutors allege he broke into apartments and condos across Portland, then sold the stolen bikes for drugs. Thanks for joining us. I'm Christine Pitawane.
And I'm David Mulco. Let's go right to Celine Stevens live outside one apartment complex in the Pearl that authorities say was hit by that suspect. Celine?
David and Christine, that man is Daniel Gallagher. He stole 2 highly valued bikes from this apartment complex off of Northwest 18th Avenue back in 2024. Both of those bikes combined amounted to nearly $20,000 in worth. And according to DA Nathan Vasquez, he's stolen over 30 bikes since 2023. Now, according to the DA's office, they say that Gallagher, who is seen in this video, was breaking into multiple apartment complexes in Southeast Portland and the Pearl District and stealing bikes and e-bikes. Gallagher was arrested back in 2024, but eventually released and then arrested again in October 2025. Court documents revealed that Gallagher was found with fentanyl and methamphetamine during his October arrest, and he said he would trade the bikes for drugs. DA Nathan Vasquez credits the county's burglary task force for Gallagher's arrest.
It's really to make sure that we feel safe in our homes and that our businesses feel safe in doing business, can really experience economic vitality and without the fear of having their doors kicked in. And so as part of that overall effort, this was one of our cases that we were happy to see come to a conclusion.
So once Gallagher is released in about 5.5 years, he will then have to face a 3-year post-prison supervision. Back to you.
I'm guessing some residents in the Pearl are breathing a bit of a sigh of relief tonight. Thanks, Celine. This evening, investigators are working to figure out what led up to a deadly motorcycle crash overnight in northeast Portland. It happened just before 1 o'clock. Portland police say a motorcycle and vehicle collided at Northeast Sandy and 141st. Police say the motorcycle was taken to the hospital and later died. No word if the driver of the other vehicle was injured, but officers say they remained at the scene.
Oregon State Police are investigating a missing person case involving a traveler who got stranded. Investigators say at about 9 p.m. last Saturday, Maria Linda Jade Kilmer and a passenger got into trouble on Highway 22 near milepost 15. Her car ran out of gas while traveling from Lyons to Salem. According to the passenger, an unidentified driver pulled over. Kilmer got out and left with them. She has not been seen or heard from since and left behind her belongings, including her keys, purse, and phone. Anyone who knows where she might be should call 911 or contact Oregon State Police.
Filling up your tank, I just did it this afternoon, 509, ouch, seems to be hitting harder than ever with gas prices climbing to levels we have not seen in years. Blair Best went to one small Portland gas station that appears to be fighting to keep prices low. What'd you learn, Blair?
David, those low prices are also keeping the customers coming back. At Radio Cab's 24/7 indoor gas station in Northwest Portland, a gallon of regular reached almost $5. That's the most they've ever charged, but $4.99 is still the best kept secret in town as the war in Iran sends oil prices soaring. The national average, according to AAA, is just over $4 a gallon, and in parts of Oregon, including Multnomah County, it's topping $5, the highest average in 4 years.
$50 didn't even fill up my tank. We're halfway. That's $100 for a Subaru.
Kind of scary.
Well, it's unlivable. And this is the only place you come because it's the only place that's kind of affordable.
We do try very hard to keep our gas prices, competitive, if not lower than what's around.
Okay, coming up, how those behind the pump there are helping customers through these difficult times and the impact on radio cab drivers. That's coming up tonight at 6:30. Christine.
Yeah, rough times for sure if you're filling up. Thank you, Blair. Oregon health officials are warning of a new measles exposure. It happened at the Providence Portland Medical Center Emergency Department waiting room in northeast Portland. The exposure was this Monday night between 7:57 and 10:08. Now, anyone who was in the waiting room during these times should contact their healthcare provider and let them know that they may have been exposed to measles.
Well, meanwhile, applications are now open for free preschool spots in Multnomah County. County officials saying this will be the biggest year so far for the Preschool for All program, which is funded by an extra tax on higher income earners. You can apply through the end of April, though keep in mind kids should be at least age 3 by September 1st. Options include preschool at child care centers, community centers, school-based classrooms, or even individual homes. You can choose up to 8 programs on the application.
It opens the door to education at an early age for all children in our community. It's how we make sure our kids get a great start. You know, as parents, there's nothing more important to us than making sure our kids are in good care and that they're learning and that they're ready to start school.
Preschool for All is open to children living in Multnomah County, regardless of family income. You can find the application at pfa.multco.us.
And Oregon restaurant owner's zero waste efforts have earned her some national recognition.
We're talking about Hayward in Carlton. That's where we find KGW's Jake Holter. And Jake, they just landed on a list of about 40 restaurants nationwide. What'd you learn?
Yeah, David and Christine. So Hayward specializes in Pacific Northwest cuisine in that it is almost fully locally sourced. 88% of their food coming from here in Oregon. The restaurant operates on an ever-changing menu based on what local farmers and purveyors have available or what's in season. And while the constant change sounds like it could make for lots of waste, at Hayward it's quite the opposite. Chef and owner Kari Shaughnessy works hard to make use of just about every last morsel of food, whether that's saving vegetable scraps for stocks, fermenting fruit for later, or even dehydrating allium tops to turn into seasoning. These no-waste practices earned Shaughnessy a $25,000 grant as part of the International Restaurant Coalition's inaugural Innovator Awards. She says this will help the restaurant secure a dehydrator to more seamlessly save what's left over.
Thrilled. I mean, anytime you are getting a check in the mail for a small business, it's really hard to not be excited. So that was really great. And also just to know that someone on the other side of this application process saw what we were doing and really believed in the future.
And a little extra number for you. Shaughnessy says that in 2025, by sourcing locally, Hayward spent $220,000 at small businesses in the area. David and Christine?
Yeah. Small businesses helping small businesses. Love her effort. Thank you, Jake.
Well, it has been nearly 16 years since 7-year-old Kyron Horman vanished in Northwest Portland. And tonight we take a look back at his 2010 disappearance as part of a new Unsolved Northwest special, one that features KGW investigative reporter Kyla Boshi, who's covered the search for Kyron since he was last seen at Skyline Elementary. You can catch it streaming at 8 this evening on KGW Plus or on demand anytime after. Just download the free KGW Plus TV app. It's on Roku, Amazon Fire, and Apple TV.